We'll just work it, just don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, here you go. Hello, hello everyone. This is Jeannie White from Social Connections on Passionate World Talk Radio. And today I'm the producer of this show. And it's with Holly Brown and her guest, Christina Thayer. And Holly, I want to, why don't you tell people about what this particular series is all about and how often you're going to be having it, and then go on to talk with Christina. All right.
Sure. Hi, I'm Holly Brown. I'm the executive director, founder of Looking and Feeling Fab. So we do skin care treatments and massage for people who are going through cancer treatment. And we are doing a series called Skin is In to bring awareness of how prevalent skin issues are with cancer treatment. And so this is our third one in the series, and we're trying to do them every 2 weeks. So we hope that you'll tune in if this is something that you're interested in. And today I'm happy to have Kristine there with us, who is one of the girls who's we call her the face of Fab, because she is allowed us to use her photos and whatnot for a lot of our promotional material. So so Kristine, maybe you could just start out with like telling about your story a little bit.
Sure. Well, thank you, Holly, and thanks, Jeannie, for having me on today. In February of 2017, I was diagnosed with stage 3 invasive ductal carcinoma, which basically means that I had breast cancer, which had also spread to my lymph nodes. And so I went through 5 months of chemotherapy. I had a bilateral mastectomy, and then I also had 35 rounds of radiation, which really wreaked havoc on my skin in addition to everything else. And so I was fortunate enough to know Holly before being diagnosed with cancer. And I knew what great work she was doing with cancer patients and other people who have compromised skin. And so I think she was one of the very first people that I called when I was diagnosed. And I said, Holly, I need some help here. And we've obviously been connected ever since, and she's been healing me one day at a time. And I hope that I've been able to share my story with others so that we can get even more people helped during, their difficult time.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So just a couple of questions. So the skin issues that you experienced throughout your treatment, were you prepared for that? Had anybody mention anything to you about skin reactions that you might experience, or were you kind of surprised when you experienced them?
During chemo, I was definitely surprised at what happened to my skin. Of course, there was the recommendation of continue to drink a lot of water, stay hydrated. But at the same time, we're allowing toxins to take over our body in order to heal us during chemotherapy. So, that definitely plays a huge part in the health of your skin. We know that our skin is our biggest organ, and so everything we do to that is impacted or impacts the rest of our bodies as well. And so I was not prepared for what it would do to my skin.
And when you did experience the skin issues, did they offer you any solutions, or were you pretty much? I know that when I myself had undergone chemotherapy and I had brought it to my doctor's attention, he stared around kind of blankly and then, looked at me and basically said to me, you're an esthetician, you should know what to do. So what type of experience or reactions did you get from your doctors?
I think they kind of brush it off a little bit as just one of the small side effects that you might incur during treatment. Obviously, during radiation, where the skin is directly targeted, I experienced a great amount of issues there, but it was definitely helped by using some of your products, which I'm sure we're going to get into later. So I think there was a big difference and a misconception almost about what happens to your skin during chemotherapy. I mean, it's always expected during radiation that you're going to have some type of skin issue, but I was surprised when chemo caused my skin to do what it did.
Yeah, they actually did a study and said that 85% of people who undergo radiation end up with a moderate to severe burn. And they also said that they interviewed 350 cancer survivors and asked them about skin issues. And 1 in 3 people said the skin issues they experienced while on chemotherapy negatively affected their life, which is like huge statistics that, just kind of blows my mind. So I know that you kind of were familiar with the charity and whatnot prior to you becoming diagnosed or whatever. But tell us what happened when you reached out to us, and maybe you can just talk a little bit about the program and how you got started and whatnot.
Sure. So during chemo, or before I even began chemo, I think I called and said, I'm in for the ride of my life here, good, bad, and ugly, and I need some help and some guidance. And I think I turned to you, Holly, simply because I didn't know who else to turn to. I knew about FAB, and I knew about the wonderful things you were doing, helping people with skin issues. And I wanted to be preventative, and preemptive in terms of what might happen to my skin. And so I think I gave you a call, and we sat down, did an intake, and you looked over my medical history. We got permission from my doctor to continue working together. And I think we set up, my first consultation where my skin was evaluated, and then I was treated with a beautiful facial and given some wonderful products to try at home. And as I was going through chemo, that was the beginning of our relationship.
Oh, good. Okay. And so what type of services other than the facials had you received any other services from us, and tell us about how they impacted your journey?
Absolutely. So in addition to the amazing facials, I've also been able to take part in some of the massage therapy that you offer. And because I had lymph node involvement during my surgery, where they removed most of my lymph nodes in my left arm, there's always a risk for lymphedema developing. And I was experiencing some symptoms of lymphedema, and that can be painful. And in order to help prevent it or stop the spread of it, they lymphatic massage. That was wonderful. That was something that I was able to do with you. Lymphatic massage really helped reduce the swelling in my arm, symptom of lymphedema.
Oh, good. And so now maybe you can talk a little bit about the products and the difference between the products that we gave you and what somebody might go and buy at CVS or Walmart, how they were different, and how they were helpful to you, and what other aspects of the products that we kind of educated you on that we thought was important.
So when I started radiation, the doctor suggested I use Aquaphor, which, is a petroleum-based product that really did nothing for my skin. So during radiation, I really began utilizing the oils, which are essential oils, using essential, ingredients and holistic ingredients. I also used the roller that you provided, which would also help the products get deeper in the skin, which was amazing. And it was also cooling and refreshing. So I was very religious about using the products before and after radiation. And they just don't compare to something that you could get at the grocery store. We're talking about our skin going through a very difficult and stressful time. And so it's important to use products that really matter and make a huge difference. You mentioned earlier that 85% of patients say that they do get some type of bad burn during radiation, and I was not badly burnt, and I attribute that to the products that I used from you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And so So that was just so that people know. So we do, we're conducting a study of a product, Neogenesis, that contains stem cells in their products. And we use that to pre-treat people and then follow them through radiation. And we actually have been written up as a scientific study. So those are published now in the dermatological journals, and they are in the process of being published in the medical journals. So we were happy for all our case studies that we had, and we had great results. So hopefully, as soon as that gets through the different series of peer reviews, then we'll be able to get that information out to everybody. So the other thing I want to talk about is majority of our services are offered at no cost. And how do you feel that helped in regards to, we know that people who undergo, serious medical issues can end up in a financial bind. So we, try to provide everything to the people at no cost. So how did that make you feel? And what did that have an impact on you deciding to enroll in the program or not?
Absolutely, it did, Holly. During treatment, I was fortunate enough to take some time off of work because the treatment was just so severe. And I don't think I could have taken part in the program had I had to pay, for a full facial and massage therapy. It just would have been a difficult time for our family. And so the fact that it was complimentary really made such a difference. And we're talking about very high-end products that you're using as well, which, are not affordable to everyone. And so the fact that the products that you're using are so great, it just really speaks to the work that you're doing. You want to make sure that you're giving the clients the best experience and the best products that they can use.
Yeah, that, we say that, our mission is to educate people and provide them with products that are going to be helpful in healing whatever needs to be healed. But we also do our best to contract with companies that make clean products, because the most absurd thing that I've heard is, why would you want to put a product on somebody who's fighting cancer that contains ingredients that may cause cancer? That is crazy to me. So we call, a lot of companies will do that. They'll tout that they are raising money for cancer, and yet they're formulating a product that has cancer causing ingredients in it. So we refer to that as pink washing. And so we kind of educate people to be careful of that. And so one of the main priorities of ours is to use and be able to offer all clean products, so that you're not piling more chemicals onto somebody who's already experiencing high doses of medication that are used. And some of the ingredients would actually interfere with the treatments as well. So we want to prevent that from happening. And so did you get any feedback from your doctors about the condition of your skin?
During radiation, for sure, they asked, what have I been using? What's the routine that I was using in order to keep the burns from happening? And of course, I shared with them, everything that you had provided for me. During chemo, I would get compliments on my skin, which is not a common thing, I'm sure. But people would say, yes, you're bald. Yes, you don't have any eyebrows and no eyelashes, but you're so I, intrinsically, that's one of the great things that you get to feel. You feel like a woman again after losing everything that really makes you, feel feminine. And the fact that I had great skin, was commented on mostly by my friends and family, but of course my doctors noticed it as well.
Oh, good. We like to hear that. And also, so we've been trying to concentrate a lot on letting people know that, we're not just about the skin, but we're about support and providing a safe space and providing a an ear for people to talk with or to vent or, to let their emotions out, and that, we are there to support you and follow you through your journey. And, we are there as more than just people to administer a skincare treatment. So with the treatments that you received, did you feel that did you feel like it was something that where you could go and what you had said, or, any emotions that you've shown would have been kept confidential, and it was, a safe space of probably, a person who isn't really involved that you could talk to?
Holly, I think I cried at every treatment.
That's good. That's good.
For many reasons. Just because, number one, I was getting out of the house and I had someone who was listening to me and was there to do a service for me, other than, take my temperature and weigh me and stick me with a needle. So it was really uplifting to be able to visit with Christina and some of the other girls that you have as estheticians and massage therapists on board. And I'm not kidding when I say I cried. There is a release of emotion when you're feeling at your lowest and you have an opportunity to meet with and get a service and treatment from someone who really cares about you. And so, that's probably one of the main reasons why I've, recommended you to so many friends and family who have been sick. And I think it's, a welcoming place to be.
And we appreciate that. And we also, there was a fundraiser for Kristine that her family and friends had, and she was so nice to donate half of the funds to us so that we can continue to help so many more people. We're so appreciative of that. You are also a member of our board of directors, and then you stepped down for a while, and now you're going to be coming back. Tell me why you feel it's important and what you can add to the program as a cancer survivor.
Well, I think, as someone who's been through the program, I can really speak to, its impact and its positive effect that it has on the patients that go through it. I love that I can speak firsthand of, what the intake process looks like, what you can expect when you go for your first visit, what you do for at-home care. I love that I can speak to that personally and share that with others. So that's probably, what I feel is most important to me.
Good. And it's always good to have that, that person, like you said, that's gone through it. So we may be making decisions as an organization that may not be in the best interest of somebody who is going through this, which we wouldn't know unless we had somebody who was going through this. So we're thankful and appreciative to have your aspect of that, just to kind of make us better and learn of ways that we can improve the organization. The last thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about is, what advice would you give to somebody who may be newly diagnosed in regards to skin issues and different things that they can do? I mean, I know, the program is available to people, and our information is scrolling across the screen, the phone number and the email, and please, anybody who needs help, feel free to reach out. But as somebody who is newly diagnosed, who is, worried about facing the treatments and everything, and what types of advice would you give them in regards to what's going to happen with their skin?
Wow, that's a lot there. Lots to unpack there, huh?
Sorry,
but no, it's interesting. I actually got a text message this morning from a friend of a friend whose sister was just diagnosed, and, basically asked me that same question, what advice would you give her? What should I share with her? And my response was simply, your support is probably the biggest obstacle at the beginning, because she's going to need, the friends and family support the most. And I was lucky enough to think of Looking and Feeling Fab as one of my pillars of support during treatment. So, you know, when they come to me, and when people who are newly diagnosed come to me and ask, you know, what should I do? Who should I contact? How do I get involved in some of the, you know, breast cancer survivor or breast cancer groups? You know, the first name that I share with them, I say, call my friend Holly at Looking and Feeling Fab. She's going to take care of you in more ways than you know. And it's not just about the skincare. It is about the community of therapists and estheticians that you have on board who really do make the difference. So, you know, my recommendation is to reach out early and become part of FAB sooner rather than later, because it'll help your entire progression through treatment.
And thank you so much. And also, I just want to say to people that during all this crazy time where obviously we are practicing social distancing and kind of isolating ourselves, particularly if you have a compromised immune system, if somebody is undergoing issues with their skin, maybe they're in radiation or developing skin issues during this time, we are happy to ship products to them. We obviously can't see them face to face or be able to work on them right now, but we're happy to send products to them. And I write out everything of what to do with the products and how to use them. And so we're happy to do that. If somebody, I have had a couple of people reach out who've had really bad like burning or scars that haven't healed. But if anybody is having any issues with their skin at this point, just reach out to me, explain to me. We can always send pictures and I can send you the proper products to help with that. So there is still a way that we can help you during this crazy time right now.
It's great.
And so, Jeannie, do you have anything that you'd like to ask?
Well, yes, we have a question here, Polly.
Okay.
We have her name is Betsy Wurzel, and she's asking, what type of moisturizer would you recommend for radiation therapy?
So we use a couple of different things for the radiation. We offer we have a blend of essential oils that we use that have a lot of healing properties in them. We have a mixologist that works for the charity who actually mixes the essential oils just for us. So that does a couple of different things that allows us to know that we're using the best quality of oils. But also a lot of people shy away from oils because they say, oh, it clogs my skin. But it's oftentimes a heavy wax carrier that's used. So we are starting to use a natural carrier. So that's one thing that we use. The other thing that we use is we have a product called Hush Hydrate, which is from Hale and Hush, and that is a very good cream to use. We also have a bio relief powder that they can sprinkle into the cream to use, and it's very soothing and very healing. And so we can use that. If somebody is undergoing really bad irritation or burning, then we kind of bring in the big guns, which is the Neogenesis Recovery, which is made of stem cells, donated stem cells, the molecules from donated stem cells, and that really helps to help recover the skin.
That's great information, Holly.
Yeah, and if they need help, they can reach out. Like I said, shoot me an email or give me a phone call or a text. And if it's something that they need, we can certainly get the products to them.
That's good. Is there anything else we should be able to tell anyone? We know we had another guest, but she was unable to get on the system here.
Yeah, we'll have her again another time. But Kristine, is there anything that you wanted to add at the end?
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming into my life 10 years ago, Holly. I'm very fortunate that I knew you before I was diagnosed, because I knew exactly where to go, and you shared with me the process of keeping my skin healthy during treatment, not only through radiation burning and all of that, but also during chemo, and you just made me feel like me again while I was going through treatment. And I think that's a huge testament to what you're doing.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Is there anything else, Holly? I know we're going to schedule another one another couple of weeks, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to tell everyone that also you're going to make me an admin on your page on Facebook, and that way you'll probably have more people because we'll be streaming also from your page too.
Oh, good. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be helpful because right now it's streaming through Passionate World Talk Radio and also YouTube.
Okay, good.
We can do that also for you.
Awesome.
So if you'd like to have any closing thoughts, Holly, before we close.
I just want to say that, I encourage people to reach out to us, and I want to say that we work with the doctors. We in no way replace medical advice, so we are completely transparent. We're happy to supply ingredient sheets. We can offer our licenses, our certifications, whatever they need to feel comfortable. We can also send the doctor's literature to educate them on what we're providing and how we're providing it. So, even though we talk about how little the doctors might offer their advice or whatnot, they're concentrated on the bigger issue, which is fighting the cancer. And so we want a lot of doctors to know that we're available and that we are here to work as part of their team and not against them.
Oh, great. Excellent. Good advice. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to close now. I'm calling myself the producer of this. And obviously, this is Holly's series, and it's very important information. And if you really need anything or any questions, we have the scrolling of her email contact or her phone number. I really do recommend that you contact them for any assistance or advice on what they can do via, like Zoom, or even from here, we can help you out that way too, Holly.
Yes. Yeah.
So anything we can do to help out, we're there to help. But I want to thank everyone for listening to Skin is In with Holly Brown and her guest Kristine Thayer, and this is Jeannie White. I am the producer on this temporarily. I mean, we may have another producer, you don't know. But anyways, I want to wish everyone well and stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.